Let's move on to main topic number 2. And our second main topic today gets submitted to us by Joshua Klein. And Joshua Klein writes, so the first reviews for Wonder Woman 84 came out and they look to be overwhelmingly positive. I can't say I'm surprised. I have faith in Patty Jenkins, but the trailers didn't really grab me. So this definitely excites me more. Where's your excitement level upon hearing these first reviews? All right, thanks a lot for sending this in, man. And yeah, a number of people have already seen Wonder Woman 84. They did a little virtual press thing with it as well, and they let a number of people see it. And without exception, the response has been overwhelmingly positive, like absolutely outstanding. We get a friend of ours, Eric Davis, writes, I'm so happy to report that Wonder Woman 84 is an absolute blast from start to finish. I love Eric, by the way. From start to finish, an exceptional compliment to the first film. It's stuffed with heart, hope, love, action, romance, and humor. Patty Jenkins, Gal Gadot, and the team delivered one of DC's best sequels. I was in tears when it ended. Then our friends over at Joe Blow, if I can find it here, our friends over at Joe Blow wrote, Gadot perfectly captures the essence of Wonder Woman once again. Pedro Pascal and Kristen Wiig were brilliantly cast, which is interesting to hear because I love Kristen Wiig, but I've been a little bit iffy on if she was the right person to play Cheetah. And yes, Chris Pine's unusual and inspired return is a huge bonus, both with humor and heart. Wonder Woman 84 is a joyful, thrilling, and engaging sequel, one that manages to connect with what worked in the first time around, yet still uniquely its own thing, emotional, hilarious, and exciting, perhaps even better than the first. And Rob, that's just kind of symbolic of really what most of the reactions I'm reading on this have been. Now, you know what my attitude about Wonder Woman 84 has been. I have absolute faith in Patty Jenkins. As long as Patty Jenkins is in the director's chair, I'll believe in the film. The trailers have not helped. Like, I haven't been very big on the trailers. I don't think the trailers have been all that impressive. I don't think they sucked, but I don't think the trailers have been all that. They haven't made me more excited for it, right? But despite that, if it's Patty Jenkins, I trust Patty Jenkins. I believe it's going to be good. These are better than I thought we were going to hear, and that's kind of exciting to me. Rob, you hear these reviews. Were you surprised to hear these reviews, and what does it do for your anticipation level right now?
Well, you know, whenever people on social media get to see these early screenings, more often than not, we get a lot of positive reviews because there is that initial excitement when you first see something. You're like, wow, I really like that. You don't really have time to ruminate on whether the movie was actually good or bad. You've just seen it. And I'll tell you, the one thing about the trailers, like you and I have talked about, that the trailers were not as overwhelmingly our anticipation was not off the charts based on the trailers. For me, where the trailers failed is it doesn't state the central premise of the movie. I have no idea, other than Wonder Woman, and I know that Cheetah's in it, and I know that Steve Trevor comes back. What's it about? Like, why is it set in 1984? And I have no sense of why should I be excited about this movie other than the fact that Wonder Woman's in another movie. You know, I don't normally you're like, wow, that premise sounds really interesting. Like, we know that in Endgame or in Infinity War, Thanos was going to make his move for the Infinity Stones and everybody was going to be involved. And you're like, I want to see that. Why is Cheetah fighting Wonder Woman? You know, and we don't have any idea what it is about. So I think that's why we can't get that excited about it, because yeah, we know Wonder Woman's coming, but why should I get excited? And that's been, I think, problematic. But I even heard from somebody who actually worked on the film over the weekend in a capacity, and he's very curious how the movie's going to be received, because he said it's a good movie, but it's not like Wonder Woman, the first Wonder Woman, that it has a very different, as I said, premise. So I'm curious what that means. And I want it to be good, you know, but I just don't know. I'm not as excited as I'm not as excited as I want to be, John. I want to be stoked. I really like the first movie. I'm a Patty Jenkins fan, but I watched this film and I'm like, does everybody in the world have their wishes come true? Is it based on some magical premise? Is that why Steve Trevor comes back and we see Cheetah because somebody wished they were better? And is that what Maxwell Lord is saying to everyone? Like, is it based in magic? Like, I don't know. I want to see it.
That does kind of seem like the direction they're going in with that. I mean, but the one thing you brought up is also true. It's like sometimes I don't really buy into very heavily this whole notion that, oh, because somebody got to see it earlier, they like it more. I don't buy that, because when you're people like you and I, Rob, and you've seen 1,000 movies early, you stop caring about the fact that you saw it early.
It's not about the.
But I will say this. In this specific instance, because it has been so long since there has been any big release, anything kind of like even remotely similar to what normal coverage of what a movie has been and being able to cover a big movie, I cannot help but wonder, and listen, I know most of these people putting these out. I know they have great integrity. I know all that. I'm not questioning that in the least. Just be clear on that. But I cannot help but wonder if in this specific circumstance, Rob, the fact that, oh my God, we're watching a big movie again and covering it in a press-like way, I can't help but feel not that they were being dishonest in the least about what it was they were saying, but I can't help but if maybe that added enthusiasm about, we're back getting to do our jobs again. We're covering a big movie that's coming out. We're talking to the filmmakers involved. We're getting back to our jobs. And I just can't help but wonder if all that positivity that you feel over that, because we're all human. I wonder if some of that might have spilled over into their enthusiasm for the movie. I don't know. But end of the day, I just believe in Patty Jenkins. Do you think that could play a part of it?
Yeah, I mean, look, I think it is the initial excitement. When you I always feel that when I get to see a movie that I've anticipated for a long time, and I finally get to just stick that chewy goodness in my brain and munch on it, I feel good about it anyway. There's a lot of goodwill I have toward that particular film from the get-go. And when you come right out of it, you're processing it. You haven't had time to sit back and go, huh. So I think, it probably is a good movie. Why would it not be? But I don't know, is it better than the first one or not? Does it matter? As long as it's a good movie, do you watch it unto itself? I don't know. I didn't like John Wick 2 as much as I like John Wick 1, but I still like John Wick 2 because Keanu Reeves shooting dudes in the head. I'm in.
Question is, guys, this is, look, in the world of, is this good news or bad news? This is obviously very good. What do you think about these overwhelmingly positive responses to Wonder Woman 84? I think it's great. I think it's really great. I am looking forward to it. Again, I never doubted because it's Patty Jenkins, just that the trailers didn't really do it for me. What do you guys think about this? Jump down into the comment section below and let us know your thoughts. All right, guys.